So here we are at the time of year, that holiday time of year that most children find very, very exciting. And I want to speak to your inner child today. We all have one, don't we? Don't we? And at the holiday season, those inner children seem to be expressing themselves in one way or another. And I love to see someone's inner child just kind of enjoying something this time of year. I don't know what your inner child enjoys, but for me, it's like a cup of hot chocolate. Okay, my adult really likes that too. But, sometimes some of the children's music, songs, and Santa Claus, and almost anything that happens this time of year, the inner children just can't help it. They just come out and play. And one thing I know about childhood is that every child reaches a point of curiosity about the biggest question of all. Is Santa Claus real? No, that's not the biggest question of all. The biggest question of all is, what is God? Now, most children are exposed to one very specific idea about God, and they spend the rest of their lives either defending this idea, disproving that idea, or moving far away from that idea of God as they can possibly get as they get older. Can you see yourself in any of those experiences related to the idea of God? So, several weeks ago, I came back from a Sunday off to find this book on my desk. What is God? And it was put there by Emily because she and Laine, when they found it, they're like, oh, Laine has to have this book. They knew I needed to read it. And I loved it so much, actually, that I'm going to read it to all of you today, boys and girls. And everyone who's not a boy and girl but thinks that they might be something else, whatever. And I will tell you that I'm not very skilled at doing the sideways reading thing that teachers do, so I'm not going to do it. I'll just leave it up here and you can look at the pictures later. The illustrations are beautiful, by the way. They're quite wonderful. So I want to read this book. So are you ready? Get your reading positions on. Let's do some reading. It is dedicated to the children of the world, to all of us. And it says, so the pictures are like this, but I can't read like that. So at any rate, what is God? You are asking a very, very big question. Boys and girls, grown-ups and old people, everyone wants to know, what is God? People who live in forests and mountains, people who live in deserts, in cities and on farms, everyone wants to know, what is God? Maybe we can't really talk about God because maybe we can't see God, or maybe we can't hear God, or even taste or smell or touch God. Maybe we can only feel God like we can feel love, or like we can feel happy or sad. Maybe God is what you feel when you stand on a very high mountain and see a big, beautiful view all around you. Or maybe God is what you feel when you hear beautiful music, sometimes soft and sometimes loud. Or maybe God is what you feel when you see a million stars at night and you feel very small looking up at them. Maybe we can feel God when there is loud thunder or bright lightning outside our windows. Long ago, people thought that the sun was God, like a very strong and great light that shines through and around everything. But now we know that the sun is just one star, and really just one small star, in a big universe filled with millions of stars. And a universe is everything. A universe is everything you can see when you look up at the stars at night. Some people think that God is an old man with a long white beard who sits up in the clouds and looks down at us all the time. They think that this God knows everything we do or say or even think. And when some people talk about this God, they look up at the clouds towards him. Sometimes this God is a nice old man, but sometimes this God is an angry old man. And some people think that if we're not good, this God will be angry with us. Next time you fly in an airplane, look out the window and at the clouds, but you won't see that God there because no one has ever seen that God. Maybe God is an eternal mystery. Eternal means forever and ever. And a mystery is like a big puzzle with lots of pieces you have to fit together. Is there anyone who can really tell us how all the many pieces of this big and forever puzzle called God fit together? Some people think that there are teachers who have been able to solve the puzzle, what is God? These teachers, men, women, and even children, have come from many places in the world and have talked in many different languages about the question, what is God? Some of these teachers still live today, but most of the great teachers lived long ago, and people passed their teachings along to their children and so on. This passing on of the teachings went on for many, many years, and that's how many religions got started. A religion is a belief held by a group of people who all understand God in the same way, usually as one teacher taught them about God. People of the Christian religion understand God as the teacher Jesus Christ taught them about God. People of the Jewish religion understand God as the teacher Moses taught them about God. People of the Muslim religion understand God as the teacher Muhammad taught them about God. People of the Buddhist religion understand God as the teacher Buddha taught them about God. And there are many, many more teachers who have taught many, many different people many, many different things about God. But if there are so many different ways to learn about the forever puzzle of God, how can we ever begin to understand God? We can start by reading different holy books. Most religions have a holy book in which someone wrote down what their teacher taught about God. People of the Christian religion read a holy book called the Bible. People of the Muslim religion read a holy book called the Quran. People of the Jewish religion read a holy book called the Torah. Buddhists read the sutras, while Hindu people read the Vedas. You see, every religion is different, and people of every religion understand God in their own different way. Sometimes people of one religion want everyone to know what is God in the same way that they understand God. Sometimes people of one religion don't like people of another religion just because their religion is different, or they don't understand the other religion. And sometimes people of one religion start fights with people of another religion because they don't understand that most religions are the same. How are most religions almost the same? Most religions teach that you should be good to other people just like you would want other people to be good to you. Most religions say that you should not lie. Most religions say you should not steal. Most religions say you should not hurt people. There are many ways all religions are the same. If everyone thought about all the ways in which all the different religions are the same, maybe people wouldn't have so many fights about all the different answers to the question, what is God? Praying is a way to try to talk to God, and people of all religions pray. When people pray, they try to talk to God from very deep in their hearts about something that is very important to them. People pray to God in many different ways. People pray while sitting or standing, or they pray by reading from their holy book, and people of different religions pray in many different places, called churches, or synagogues, or mosques, or temple. But you can really pray anywhere, by your bed, or in a park, or on a mountain, as long as when you pray, you really mean it. But wait, we have only talked about the big religions. There are many people who believe there are many gods, not just one God. And there are some places in the world where you're not allowed to talk about God, and where there are no places allowed to even pray to God. But in our country, we believe that everybody can pray according to his or her religion, and everybody is allowed to ask, what is God? There are many ways to talk about God. Does that mean that everything that everybody says about God is right? Does that mean that God is everything? Yes, God is everything, great and small. God is everything far away and near. God is everything bright and dark, and God is everything in between. If everything is God, God is the last leaf on a tree. If everything is God, God is an elephant crashing through the jungle. If everything is God, then God is the hot wind in the desert, and God is the freezing snow in the winter, and God is the big yellow moon. If everything is God, then I am God. You are God. All of us are God. So when we pray to God, when people of all religions pray to God, we are really praying for that feeling, the feeling that connects all of us. When we pray to God, we are praying for that feeling of love to come to us and to everybody we know, maybe even to all those people we don't know, so that we can all be happy together or apart. And if you really want to pray to God, you can just close your eyes anywhere and think about that feeling of God that makes you part of everything and everybody. If you can feel that feeling of God and everyone else can feel that feeling of God, then we can all become friends together, and we can really understand what is God. So if you really want to feel God, you can close your eyes now and listen to your breath go slowly in and out, and think about how you are connected to everything, even if you're not touching everything. Try to feel how you are connected to your dad and how you are a part of your mom. Try to feel how you're a part of your whole family, like your brother or sister or grandparents, your aunt or uncle, cousins, even your friends. And try to feel how all of those people are part of one whole bigger family, and how all the families of the world, even those we can't see or touch, are really a part of you and your family. And if you start to feel God like that, then maybe you will soon feel the whole answer to that very, very big question that everyone asks. What is God? Written, isn't it great? It's by Eitan Baritzer, illustrated by Robbie Marantz, and I will leave that up here. So what is God? I'm not just going to read the book and stop, but that would be cruel, right? So here's my own understanding of how this works, and I invite you to consider for yourself if this is true. Each and every one of us gets to create our own idea of God. As I said, each of us were kind of handed down some sort of family understanding of God. Sometimes that original idea of God is like super well defined with one of those holy books, to read, and relationships with God being modeled in our homes. But other times that original idea is kind of vague and not very central to our home at all. And sometimes the idea of God is not existent in our homes completely, right? And sometimes the original idea is like denied. There is no God. That's a possibility as well. And each of us have these thought patterns that were handed to us to explain this inexplicable thing when they were handed to us as children. And regardless, we picked up lots of ideas from all the places and areas of life like are described in the book. Each idea comes into us throughout our entire life journey, and we decide for ourselves if that idea fits with our current understanding of God or modifies our current understanding of the divine power. And if we can fit that, somehow we keep those. But we throw away any ideas that make us scoff and say, that is not true, that's not true. We say it because it isn't true of our personal idea of God, and we all get to have it our way, kind of like a Whopper, right? So I want to use the analogy of a hamburger for our lesson today, boys and girls, okay? So if my God hamburger has special sauce, it's because I decided it has special sauce in my idea of God. If my God doesn't have onions, it's because I didn't like onions in my idea of version of God. I picked them right off. No onions. Same goes for every condiment, every topping under the sun. It's on our God hamburger because we were taught to like our hamburger God that way. Or it's not because we decided that topping did not belong on a God hamburger, all right? So I only have to eat my God hamburger. If your God hamburger has onions, that's just fine because I'm not consuming or empowering your version of God. I am only doing that with mine, and you're only doing that with yours. And when we live in the truth of oneness and live a life of compassion, we let everyone have their God hamburger just the way they want it. And we love ourselves. When we love ourselves the most, we spend a lot of time figuring out what our definition of God is. Why? Why? Because we live in relationship with our understanding of a higher power in every day, in every choice we make. Just for clarity, let me tell you a little bit about my hamburger, about the God of my understanding. And trust me, this is not the God that I was introduced to as a child. I took that familial hamburger and I scraped off a lot of the toppings that my dad liked on his hamburger, right? I took off anger and judgment and favoritism and these strange superstitions and the idea of heaven and hell and all of that, because those ideas of God just did not make sense to me. And as I grew to have a connected relationship with the divine, my understanding of God grew and my toppings got way yummier, right? My God is the power of life that created and exists in all things. And I use many words to describe my God hamburger that you would be familiar with, because if you've been around here, you know my God is love. It's intelligence, it's order, it's nature, it's balance. My God operates impersonally through the laws, not only the laws of nature, but the spiritual laws like cause and effect. And my God is beauty and peace and harmony and joy. And my God created life and sustains and affirms life in all forms. And if I look closely, I can see spirit in all things, and I can see it empowering my life choices. Yes, my God is everywhere present. It contains all the knowledge, and it is power itself. And that is a hamburger that I eat every day, so to speak. And I eat it every day because I trust it. I trust God, and you should trust God, because you are the one who gave God whatever power it has. Think about that for a second. Your God can only have the power that you give it. Your God shows up the way you have it show up. Think about it. I mean, this is an important thing, because the energy of life responds to the way you relate to it. You have decided the best way you communicate with God, whether that is prayer or meditation or spending time in silence or reading or journaling or whatever your practice is. That is how you communicate with your God, and you decided that is the way it is. Because once you have gained an understanding of your God and what it is capable of, and you can begin to communicate with it and enlist its energetic help in generating a version of living that you would enjoy. Once you're at that level of relationship with God, you have a power you can work with. And so if you want a new version of living, you have to grow, learn, and have new thoughts. And your higher power is here to guide you to teachers and substance and ideas and experiences that will help you get to this new way of living that you desire. My relationship with Spirit has guided me to walk down many paths that I teach about. And I teach about my relationship with God because I am pointing you to the places where I found wisdom or light or good stuff. And I'm sharing what I've learned so that you in your life can be as transformed as mine has, right? And if you have found wisdom and light and good stuff in areas that I've never even heard of, that's fantastic. Tell me about them. I have learned to connect with Spirit through prayer. And for me, that's like kind of literally talking to it, like talking in my head sometimes or out loud sometimes. But I connect with it in mindfulness. When I affirm things or I journal or about things, Spirit has led me to understand how powerful forgiveness and gratitude are. I also was led to have lots of music in my world because that makes me feel brighter. So many things have become channels through which I connect with my inner spirit and get nudges from my intuition, which is how my God communicates with me, ideas and intuitive urging. My intuition leads me to new things to learn and do, and it speaks through my feelings of joy. Remember how I invite you to make a list of things that give you joy? I really hope you do that, because I have found that those joy things are the very paths for me to walk down, to learn new things and grow and heal and connect with others who vibrate like I do. Joy leads me. My intuition tells me if an activity or a person or a job or a movie or a book or a spiritual path or an exercise routine, friendship, food, or anything is for me. If it sparks joy in me, it's for me. And I've come to understand that if it gives you joy, it's for you. Follow that, because I have found that your intuition, or whatever means through which God gives you information, that's your inner God leading you to a greater healing or a greater version of your life that you asked for. Remember, you asked for it. So healing happens and your better version of life happens as you kind of go up that spiral staircase that we're going to be talking about. As you make new choices and make better choices and change things, things get better. So intuitively, make your joy list and then go there to find Spirit or that higher power, that feeling within you. Do it with discipline. You're literally following God. Emma Curtis Hopkins, one of Holmes's early teachers, said, Your good is your God. In other words, that feeling of goodness should lead you and show you. You gave it that power for your betterment. So now that we have a basic understanding of how God is such a personal idea and experience, we're going to use that information to grow in this new year as we kind of claim higher ground by following that inner spirit to our best lives ever. So when you go into your quiet time at some point this week, I invite you to contemplate your current understanding of God. What power have you given your God? What kind of communication system have you set up so that it can guide you and lend its creative energy to you and point you toward the very things you ask for? Ask and then listen. And while you're doing this contemplation, maybe think about how you want to grow in the new year. We're going to have some community spiritual experiences to get us ready for all of that as we release that which no longer serves us on that final Sunday of the year. And then we set a white stone intention on the first Sunday in the new year. Ask your God to accompany you on the journey through all of that, to guide you in knowing what to let go of and what to set an intention for. What is God? God is everything you say it is. You get to have it your way, just like a Whopper. And know that I would love to hear what God is to you. I find it fascinating. It's one of the best questions you can ever ask someone. Tell me about God to you. What is your God like? So Emily gave me this book to inspire today's lesson. And Bev, where is she? Bev's back there. Bev sent me this song. This next song that sings beautifully to the idea that God is in all things because life is in all things. Will you sing it for us, Derek? Life, and this is another illustration of God. Thank you. Have a good time with this song. Thank you, Beverly.
Ever heard the way that the trees talk to one another through the soil and the breeze? Have you felt the light under the ground, weaving the earth to life all around? The rain grows the grass feeds the herd feeds the plant feeds the bird drops the seeds grow the trees give the air that we breathe. You and I are just one part, one big life with one beating heart. 'Cause the life that's in you is the life that's in me, and the life in a bird is the life in a tree. And if we can believe in one thing that's true, it's the life that's in me, it's the life that's in you. If we listen to the forest, we'd hear that it spoke. There's a message blowing through the maple and oak. And if we try to pick something out by itself, we'll find it's connected to everything else. The plant and the animal, the predator and prey, the prairie and the fire, the night and the day. Love and grief, life and death are all bound together by the very same breath. 'Cause the life that's in you is the life that's in me, and the life in a bird is the life in a tree. And if we can believe in one thing that's true, it's the life that's in me, is the life that's in you. That's in me, the life in a bird is the life in a tree. If we can believe in one thing that's true, it's the life that's in me, is the life that's in you. The life that's in you is the life that's in me. The life in a bird is the life in a tree. If we can believe in one thing that's true, it's the life that's in me, is the life that's in you.